Freedom of speech obviously does have its parameters. Obviously, when you cross the line and you border onto the point of vilifying and causing, violently threatening people, which has been the reality for Australian Muslims in the last several years. I just want to point out that we've seen a proliferation of these right-wing extremist groups in this country, particularly since Abbott leadership, and that's the fact. We've had the emergence of the UPF, the ADL, Reclaim Australia, Rise Up Australia, to an extent that we've not seen with previous governments. That is a reality, and we know that because as an Australian Muslim, you are suddenly in the spotlight, receiving hate mail, whatnot.
You're not equating extremism with Tony Abbott's leadership, are you?
No, but I'm saying...
So what's the connection?
I'm saying the emergence of those groups during his leadership is something that we need to discuss. I think that does happen, and you have to ask yourself, well, it didn't happen before, and certainly there were...
What do you think is going on?
There were messages. There were subliminal messages. We know that George Christensen attended an anti-immigration rally in Queensland. The kind of divisive us and them language that was used under the previous leadership as well. These all fed into a sentiment that the Australian Muslim was the other, and the rest of us were the us. And as long as you continue to have that divide, and I know that Andrew McLeod sat here on the panel last week and clearly said Australian Muslims need to be seen to be part of the us, and them is the ISIS. But when you make Muslims and ISIS part of the same team, this is highly problematic. And when the proliferation of these groups occurs, the entity most delighted with the outcome of this is in fact ISIS. Because when you have language, when you use divisive terms, when you say refugees aren't welcome, we need to put a tracker on the Mufti, we need to stop immigration from Muslim countries, and these kinds of very directly hurtful things. The formation of a political party, the ALA, the Australian Liberty Alliance, premised on anti-Muslim immigration, it sends a very strong message to Australian Muslims that, your location in this country is highly negotiable. So it's unsettling.
Greg Hunt,